with a specific name, no matter where it is in the sheet's order, then I need to write that specific name. Okay? Questions?
Can you just pull back up the Visual Basic? I just want to look at the code one more time.
You did something with the procedure or someone where you type in example. You can type in there also like the message box and all this, and it will give you the code.
Yeah, if you do message box. We saw this already.
No, not there. In the you type in example somewhere.
It gives you all. This is what you mean?
You type in somewhere in the beginning. You type in example somewhere in the process or something.
Yeah, proceed.
You can find out the code over this or no?
I don't understand the question.
You can find the code like message box, and also it will help you to get the code more easily.
Not an insert. Here, if you do message box, it gives you exactly what you need to put in the message box.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, message box is also an object. Okay, so here we go through the different objects, workbooks, we talked about worksheets, we talked about, and here's the worksheet 1 as opposed to worksheets sheet 1. Okay, and we said exactly when we would want to use each one of these. Okay, and then there's a range. Range A1 dot select. Select is an action where we select that specific cell. Okay, range A1, comma, B5, both of them in the same quotations. Okay, they select individual cells A1 and B5, meaning this would be A1, B5. Only two cells are selected, A1 and B5. Okay? A1 column B5 is or A1 with a quotation, comma, B5 with a separate quotation would be all the cells within this range, meaning 10 cells, like this. Okay? So you understand the difference? 2 cells selected or 10 cells selected. A1 and B5 specifically, or all of the cells between A1 to B5. This is 2 different ways to do the same thing. A1 column B5 or A1 quotation, comma, B5 separate quotation.
But it's the same thing.
It does the same thing, yeah. Range 2, the whole line 2. Range AA, the whole column A. Okay, so this is how you use this object, how you refer to different ranges or different cells within a specific worksheet. Okay, if I just write this, which A1 in which worksheet it will happen, it will select?
The one that's open right now.
The one that is active,
Yeah.
right. The last one that we used. Okay. We also learned this, range A1 select or range A1 offset select. Okay, the offset is the offset is, what's the word?
Go to both of reference.
Relative, that's what I was looking for. There's the command cells, which we also learned, which refers to the range of cells within a worksheet, which we can use also instead of the range A1, we can write cells 1, 1. We can also use the letters of the column. For instance, cells 1 and B in parenthesis will give us B1. So sometimes that's easier if we have to do AF, column AF, what number is that? Okay, instead of starting to count A, B, C, D up to the F,
no?
it's, you can just write cells 1 AF and you get cell AF1 would be okay, so active cell, active workbook, active worksheet. Okay, we all usually the default is to go to the active. Okay. Okay, so I think I spoke a lot. There's a lot to say.
How did you start a new macro within the Visual Basic?
How do we start a new macro?
Within Visual Basic, not on the Excel, like how you did.
You can even start it like this. Sub. What's your
Right.
name?
Through actual text, if you click something which allowed you to
Okay,
open up a
so
little message.
one way is just to start writing sub, writing whatever, and put in parentheses, and here you have something
You have to
already.
be within like the module folder though. So how do you open up the module folder if you don't have
Okay,
one?
insert,
So,
and here's a module.
module.
And insert procedure is what I did before to start a new sub. Okay? Procedure, you can start a sub, a function, a property, public, private. Scope, we said we're not going to do in this course. Sub and function, we will do in this course. Property, not in this course.
How do
Right now
you-
we just
Sub,
learned sub.
right now, all the things that we did up till now were all subs. Okay?
How do you add a procedure?
Which is a kitzur of a subroutine. Short for subroutine.
How do you add a procedure again?
Thank you.
Insert procedure.
Don't put me on the fly for nothing.
If you don't know the exact name of a code, where you can look up, there is something like procedure to check the codes. Because this was my problem in the homework, that I know what to do, but I don't remember how to write the code.
Google.
But in the exam,
What? You need to know the codes that we learned. You will have all the examples of the things that we already did, and you need to practice. Okay, the command with allows us to refer to a specific object and do all kinds of things with it, with that object. Okay, so we said that object has different properties. If we want to refer to the different properties of the object and change a few of them in one time, we write the with, write the object, write the properties that we want to change, and the values that we want to give them. And when we finish with that object, with the properties that specific properties we want to do, then we write end with. For instance, with selection, okay? First we have C1, comma, B10. Select. What would be selected?
From C1 through to B10.
Right. From C1 through the B10. Okay, not only these two. How would we write only these two?
Just one quotation mark.
Just one quotation mark at the two ends without the separate the quotations over here. So if we have two different quotations, it's from one to the other. Okay? So this selection, whatever we chose over here, we want to change the interior color, the font color, and the font name. So instead of doing this in three different commands referring to this, okay, with selection we do, and then we end it with end with. Now when you record a macro, automatically, even if you only change one property, it will give you the with and end with. And all of the properties with the default and the change that you made in the one property that you did change. That's the way macro recording works. If you are not recording a macro and you're writing the code by yourself and you want to change a specific property, you don't have to do this with and write all of the properties. You just write the object dot the specific property you want to do and the value that you want to give it. Okay?
What's this VB? That's before red and before white. We also
Okay.
use that in message box.
Okay. Very good. VB red, VB white. Each color in VBA has a number code. Okay? But in order to remember those codes, so they did an object, or they did a list, or they did like within the coding over there, which we don't need. They did that VB red refers to a specific number that the result is red. Much easier for us to use as programmers. Just write VB red, VB white, VB
So when
blue.
defining like a color or like I remember the message box, in order to go to another line you use VB curlic. I mean CRLF.
VB right.
Right, so VB is just something you put before a command kind of?
Yep. Word codes or commands that are defined within the program to do specific things.
Right.
Like VB new line in a message box is to go,
Right.
and the next, all the rest, you put in all what comes after, you put a new line now. Like writing enter. Okay? Okay, so this is the hierarchy that we were talking about. And here we're up to number 20. Okay, so let's try and do this and see if you got the idea.
Yes.
Last part of it, so I think I will use now.
Okay, Yuda Olach.
Here.
Where?
The green stuff. What exactly is that?
Baruch.
The green stuff, the one that just.
Yona. Moshe.
Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah.
Meir.
Yeah. Oh, which one?
Dize.
Yeah. That's it.
Dize.
Yeah.
Avichai. Ezra. Meir Margarit.
Yeah. We have it.
Eitan. Chai. Binyamin. Yitzchak. Tzvi.
Yeah.
Is it Tzvi?
Yeah, Mayor. I'll show you the.
Yoshua.
Did not come today.
Noah, Michael,
Ken.
Aryeh, Simcha,
Yeah.
Shlomo,
Present.
Shmuel, Yaakov,
I'm supposed to write something. What's wrong? Why is it not working? I don't know.
Yo, no, you got me here. Yo, what's your call like this last me?
I'm doing it.
And TT.
We already did it. And consumer behavior. And marketing.
Fine, if you want to.
Didn't I add your my notes for me?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
I got you too.
What is it?
I'm not saying anything. Come on, Nick. I know you told me we were going to. You do a space.
Values and cells.
It's been 3 months.
Yo, it's your, is it the false A max rate? Yeah, that's it. No.
How do you type values in the cells? What? It says types values in cells A1 and B3. What values though? How do you write that though? No, in the code. How do you write that?
No.
First word in the.
What does it mean A1 to B3? A1 and B3? Wasn't it until A1 and until A1?
A1 to B3 is 6 total cells, right?
Ah, so record. I have to write it while I'm recording it.
No, just record it and then go back. Then you'll have it recorded. This is recorded here. And then on the next part of the question, they ask you to go and edit a few things in it.
Super complicated. Select the range in B3. Select the range in B3.
Then what?
I lost this for a little while.
I was gonna make it.
Selection.
For doing a reference. Control shift. I just don't remember the first part that's
What? I don't even know what to do.
Select the range.
I want to do like a control shift, and then when I click here, then I automatically it's like I just do control shift E, and then it goes to the cells. I don't remember the code. What no way
why do you want to short?
just so I don't have to go back and forth. So let's say I'm on a sheet and I just automatically do it. Let's say from the control N, and then on the sheet, it goes into the cell that I want to rather having to go to the code. You know what I mean? Sheet 1. Example, and then example. And then shift.
Work on the sound.
Call me back.
I'm not sure why. Did I do it correctly? Active cell
Still figuring it out. This is really complicated. I hate this stuff. You figured it? You're finished? Width command shortcut changes. Alright. Width.
How do I alter just one cell?
Range C1.
It doesn't happen.
What is the code ring for this
How'd you do background color? Exterior? Exterior?
No, interior.
Interior, really?
This was really good when I wrote the first
This is like pattern 10 and shade 0 times.
BB glow.
I just keep it like this without. The quantum of cell A2, whatever I'm saying I need to reference it back. I need to put something before that in order for it to. And how's it going to know to reference it back to cell A2? How do I get it? Meaning, how much distance to change the font to right? Oh, okay.
It's just not a good. Anyway, refer to that one. All of that refer to what you opened at the beginning. The objects refer here, not refer to any object. You just say that font. What?
I just have to keep it over here. Do I still have to put active cell? I don't have to do that.
You know, what do I do to get the full 6 cells? How do I write that? It's what's it called? It's quotes A1 colon B5 colon B3. I thought B5. Oh, B3.
Okay. Okay, let's do it together. I see where it's not working.
Yeah. Alright, let's start with gas.
From the 7?
I don't think so.
Really quick.
Guys, still in class.
Is this the first class after the long holiday?
Yes.
lot of things to tell.
It's not excuses though.
Okay. How many of you succeeded in doing the exercise?
I will succeed with all of them.
Okay, so let's go through this together and see what we're supposed to do. Record a macro, so
Sorry, can I get some fudge though?
that does the following relative reference. Okay? So I go to Excel, I start to record a macro, I give it class 3, exercise 1, a quick description,
Sir.
okay, use relative reference because that's what is required. Remember what relative reference is?
What does it do?
Okay. It does, we'll see in the code in a minute what it does. Okay? Values, it says A1 to B3. So I'll write over here. Values. Values are specifically numbers or? Yeah?
No, value is a number in the macro. These are the numbers that are always going to come up. Is that okay?
Okay. Color the background of the range as blue. So I go over here. Alright. This is the background. So let's choose this blue. And use a white color for the font. This is the font. And this is the white. And we're done. Okay, so I can stop recording from here, or I can go developer and stop recording from here. Part of this is things that we already saw. And if I go now to the Visual Basic, and this is written in a new module, since I went back and forth, so that at the beginning I wrote letters, so it's a bit long. But you can see over here the different values that I put in and all the steps that I did while I was recording. And here, this is the important thing. We have width selection, which is active cell dot offset -2 -1 range A1 to B3 select. Okay? Offset is exactly what you asked before. What is the relative reference? So offset means from the place that I that I'm now, meaning the active cell, I want to go such and such rows up or down, and such columns right or left. Okay, relative to where I am standing now. Okay, as opposed to range A1, this always refers to range A1. Okay, and if you don't remember this, please go back to the exercises that we did in the, I think, second lesson, and practice them again so you remember. Okay, with selection, which is, we said, A1 through B3, dot interior, we're referring to the interior of the cell, and here is what I told you, that it gives you the whole list of methods or not methods, but properties that are relevant to this object. Okay, and all we did was change the color. Okay, so it gives us the pattern, and gives us the color index, and it gives us the theme color. All of these things, all we wanted to do is change the color to blue, and the font we change the color to white. Okay? So this is pretty